Marlon in the Philippines, you're on the air with Hemant and Matt. How are you?
How are you guys? I've been watching your YouTube videos, Matt. It's
Well,
been
welcome.
really calming.
It says here you had some sort of experience this morning that you think might be a miracle or something. You wanted to ask us about it.
Yes, basically, I'm a Catholic, but my friend invited me to a Baptist church, and I have seen this pastor who declares himself the chosen one because I saw him literally ignite his hand on fire without even flinching. And then he also did this food miracle at lunchtime with everyone having their hands up. What do you think? Is this some kind of divine intervention from God?
I'm wondering, so you've got a Baptist pastor and you say he declares himself the chosen one. What does that mean?
It means that he has a sign from God that this pastor received a portion of power from heaven.
Yeah,
he literally lit his hands on fire.
Okay, so I want to get to the hands on fire thing. But what I'm going to say is, I'm not aware of any sort of biblical notion, and certainly nothing consistent with my Baptist upbringing, which you're talking about a Baptist church, where a pastor would declare themselves a chosen one or to have power from God. In every instance I've ever heard of this, it's always been, as far as I can tell, an attempt to con areas where they think power like this has happened. So describe for us, when you say he lit his hand on fire, describe for us as best you can and as quickly as you can what you saw.
I saw him praying with his eyes closed and with his hands on his chest. And then when he snaps his fingers, literal fire blows out of his hands. It's like the Pentecost, but on the palms of his hands.
True story. I was in a play when I was in middle school.
Hang on, go ahead, Hemant.
I was in a play when I was in middle school where I played like a bad guy, and one of the special effects we had was literally a magic trick that it was like a lighter in my hand, and if I went like this, it looked like I was setting something on fire in my hand. I'm not saying that's what he did, but it's always interesting that when I hear about pastors who do these types of magic tricks, and I've heard, by the way, pastors are floating in the air like an inch, or they're showing you something on their phone, like some picture that is something from heaven or something like that. It is amazing to me that these self-described prophets or the chosen one or whatever they want to call themselves, this is the thing God has given them the power to do. Mind you, we are coming through a pandemic right now. There's so much they could do if they had real power, and yet the power you're describing is a magic trick where he shows you his hand is on fire or something. I don't know why that's supposed to be convincing to all these people when there's so many things, if he actually had God-ordained powers, he could be doing that really would be a miracle and not a magic trick, more or less.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a magician. I've lit my hand on fire. If you just go to Google and type in hand on fire, you will get a bunch of pictures of people with their hands on fire. You will get YouTube videos telling you how to safely set your hands on fire. You will get science videos showing, and a number of different ways to do it. There are ways where you'll have a fire resting in your palm that comes up. You'll have some where it looks like your hand is actually on fire due to a chemical. There's lots of different ways to do it. I'm
really curious how soon it took after that fire trick before the collection plate was passed around.
Okay, here's the part where Marlon is going to tell us why we're wrong about what we're saying. Go ahead.
Hemant, when you were doing the school play, did your hands burn?
When I did it, no.
You guys
It was a
were-
trick. It was fake fire. It was just an illusion.
Well,
for
I've
the-
done it with real fire, and no, my hand doesn't burn. And there's lots of ways to do it with chemicals, special effects, and other things to make it look like it. But yes, I've had real fire, and my hand doesn't burn.
This is from the Philippines, and it's like he declares himself some kind of modern day prophet.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is the trick that he did, if he's doing it through divine power, as my friend James Randi used to say, he's doing it the hard way because there are easier ways to do that trick. But as Hemant was pointing out, and this is a great point, why would God give someone the power to set their hand on fire instead of giving them the power to heal people, to feed people? Why just a quick trick that you can buy from a magic store instead of something useful?
This pastor multiplied food on the spot.
Okay, Marlon, I'm
Yes.
trying to address your question, and when I raised this problem of he did a shitty miracle that you can buy in most magic shops, now without acknowledging it, without saying anything else, you immediately go on to he multiplied food on the table. I've done that before too. Matter of fact, I'm putting together a magic show that is basically me copying the tricks of Jesus. I'm going to multiply food. I'm going to turn water to wine. If you want me to, I'll add turning my hand into fire on there, because all of these are things that you can do with magic tricks. Why is it that the pastor that you're talking about, who's been supposedly given power from God, can't do anything that a good magician could do or couldn't do?
I don't know. That's what I saw. I mean,
Yeah,
I was
I get it,
invited
but
into this church.
yeah, I tell you, I cannot. So I wasn't.
Things.
Hang on, Marlon.
Uh,
I wasn't there, and I didn't see it. So all I can do is give my opinion of what you described. But what you described, I don't find to be remotely miraculous. I don't find it to be remotely good evidence for anything. And in fact, I find it kind of cheesy that over and over again, I see videos all over the place of preachers and men of God all over the world doing easy, cheap magic tricks. And in some cases, they'll do some that are more complicated. But I don't understand how setting someone's hand on fire could be anything. But that's all I've got on that, Marlon.
It's also telling that he's not relying on the sermon. He's not relying on the Bible to convince people to take him seriously. He's relying on an illusion.
So does that mean the miracles are fake? They are fake.
Yes. I cannot prove that the miracles are fake, but that's the problem. If there's no way to show that they're fake, but they haven't demonstrated that they're real, which one you think's more likely? And even if you can't decide which one's more likely, you shouldn't believe either. You should just say, I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened is the honest answer.
Yep.
To be exact.
And I don't know either, Marlon. We're gonna move on to some other calls. I appreciate the call. I appreciate the interesting stuff. Go watch some more. See what you can find. Maybe you can get take a cell phone and actually record it the next time he sets it on fire, and maybe we can figure out exactly which trick he purchased.
I guess I'm an atheist now.
Well, I don't know that that's enough for anybody to truly be an atheist, but certainly be more skeptical. And, if you see something that's amazing, ask yourself, what did I see? What can I say about it? What can I tell about it? Do I know how it was done? Because if the answer is, I don't know, then you certainly can't be in a position where you could say that was a miracle. All you can say is, I don't know what that was. I need more information.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Marlon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.